Hey everyone, welcome to the video. I'm North Central and we are among the tombstones back here at the Bridgeport City Cemetery. Today we're going to be leveling John Stout's federal flatstone. It's not his headstone. His headstone is actually missing right here. They were nice enough to put a plaque here at what that headstone used to read. So we have visited this grave before. We gave it a nice scrub down. I cleaned around the edges, and as you can see, the vegetation has grown back and come back into it. It's been several months since we've been here. The stone is pretty nice and white though. We are going to level it. We're going to bring it up about 1 inch to 1.5 inches, just a little bit above the ground level so the water will go off of it real nice. This ground is a little bit sloped, so we're going to slope it just a little bit with the ground. We'll put pea gravel up underneath of it. That way the water has a place to drain out of instead of pooling around the stone. And then once we do that, we'll give it a nice clean down, and then I'm going to give it another treatment of D2. So let's get started with Revolutionary Soldier, John Stout. All right guys, so when I level this, I like to come out about 3 or 4 inches with a shovel right off the edge of the flat stone. I get a good shovel full of dirt. That way I'm by the side and underneath of it, and there's dirt in between the metal of the shovel and the stone. And then it's just a matter of lifting the stone up. I don't have the metal touching the stone. It's all dirt in between. Reach down with my fingers, grab a hold of it, and just pick it right on up. And after that, it's a matter of setting it down. And I can leave that stuff right back here where it's at. I can flatten this down really nice and neat. Just like that. Now one thing I can do is I can come in here with my scraper and I can scrape some of the dirt, which is really just more like a sand, out of this a little bit, because I do want to put a nice base of gravel down. It's really going to help this stone out. By doing that, I'm going to put it There we go. I think that's pretty good. 4 inches of gravel. This is just gravel I have left over. A little bit of pea gravel. Just something I had left over. The gravel that I'm going to be using is right here in this 5-gallon bucket. Need a little bit more maybe. guys, I think that's pretty good. Let's get some of the dirt off this thing here real quick. Just using the scrub brush that I normally would to scrub it. It does look a lot better than it did when we first started this venture with it. Now this stone is a foot wide, 2 feet deep, or 2 foot long, and 4 inches thick. It's about 80 to 90 pounds. Got a little bit of heft to it. And it is a little bit too high, guys. A little bit too high. Well, I don't know if it is or not. It ain't that high.
Dirt back in around the side dirt, we'll take out one underneath of it.
Grab my handy dandy. Get some dirt out of here. All right, there we go. Looks good, guys. Looks really good. Let's go ahead and get this thing wet. Lots of cranberries right here. All right, guys, I'm gonna start my watch. In about 10 to 15 minutes, we're gonna keep this thing wet, and then we will give it a nice little scrub down and treat it with D2. All right, everyone, so as always, this is a federal stone, and you're supposed to abide by the National Cemetery Administration when you're dealing with a federal issued stone, whether it's granite or it's marble. With that, I'm using soap and a pH balance or pH neutral soap, which is the Orvis soap. And I'm also using a natural fibered Topeka bristled brush to give it a mild scrub. Get some of the dirt on it that I had on it whenever I was messing around and leveling it up. Now, I'm not here to try and get all this black stuff and all these stains out of this thing right now, okay? That's not why I'm scrubbing this. scrubbing it because I want to get the dirt off of it. Whenever I was putting the dirt back around, I got a lot of dirt on it. You know, when we first found this thing, and I'll put a picture of what it looked like when we first found it, it was covered up and stuff. That's why you have a lot of the deep brown staining around the sides. Looks terrible. There you go. Now I'm just going to use my whisk brush here. I'm going to get some of the water out of the lettering. When I put the D2 on it, I want the stone wet, I just don't want it soaked. And if you leave the water down in the lettering like this, you know, it tends to dilute the D2. And I don't want to do that. I want it full strength whenever it's doing what it's supposed to do to this stone. And finally, last but not least, is the D2 biological solution. This is a very powerful tool to have in your arsenal. Can't speak enough about it. It is just phenomenal what this stuff does to these stones. And I always make sure I get down in the lettering real good. You also want to make sure that you have enough dry time with this. It takes up to 12 hours for it, at least that's what they say, 12 hours dry time for this. If it rains within 12 hours of applying this, you're supposed to reapply. So make sure that you watch the weather. Tonight I'm not supposed to have any rain. It's supposed to be clear all the way through tomorrow and into the following day. So we're good to go with this. This is going to start and do its thing with this and protect it and hopefully turn it a little bit whiter. It's still got a long way to go. It's still got a lot of mineral staining on it, and that'll all come out with time, but it definitely looks a lot better now than it did. Hey guys, we've done another one, and by we, I mean you and I. You are a big part of what I do. I can't do this without you. So if you're not already subscribed, please go up and hit the subscribe button. Click on the little bell, select all notifications. After you do that, go over to the little like button and select like. Go down to the comments and make a little comment. We like comments around here, even if it's just a little happy face. All that kind of thing helps the algorithms of YouTube and allow me to do what I need to do with ads and monetization. All of my videos are monetized, and the more that they're watched, the more money that I do get from Google. And I take that money and I put it right back into supplies as far as flags and cleaners and whatnots like that. And I'm able to do the things that I do out here in the cemeteries and help these veterans out. So thank you so much for your help. Thank you for your support. And I will see you in the next one.